Apparently, we are under attack with a first world country. Pum, 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 pum. Hey guys, welcome to the YouTube channel. If you're new here, it's 𝗙𝗶𝗿𝗀𝗃. Thanks for coming. So guys, in today's video, it's hot, but I don't know if it's hot that I should be worried or it's hot that it had to happen. And so this is what is going on. In the last video that I made, I was talking about how we in Uganda do not accept the act of homosexuality. And actually, I was shocked because some of the people in the comments were kind of calling me homophobic in a way, or that I don't, I'm judging people, which I don't know, because I come from a society that does not accept the act of being a homosexual. And like I said in the previous video, we know those things exist, we just don't put them on a platform, because to us it's like the president said in the previous video, we have kids who are born with 6 fingers instead of 5 fingers, and that's how we kind of see that situation.
Like you can have somebody with the 6 fingers instead of 5.
It's not about me today, it's about what's going on in Uganda. Recently, the president of Uganda announced on how he'll never accept the act of homosexuality in Uganda. In the previous video, I showed you how people demonstrated in Uganda, Ugandan Muslims, and also the Catholic Church in Uganda as well, when they had that same-sex people can get married from the Roman Church. They distanced themselves from the church. They are like, no, we don't accept that, and we are no longer part of the Catholic Church or Roman Church. And I told you, we have like a very strong way of belief. And like I said, of all the things that we disagree with each other, that is like the only thing we as a people actually agree on. We have our differences as religions or culture, but when it comes to homosexuality, that's when we are like, no, this is not something that we accept. And then a few days ago, the president of Uganda actually signed the anti-gay law.
Signed the controversial anti-homosexuality bill into law. After enacting the bill into law, President Museveni said homosexual acts have been fanned by arrogant Western groups who come to derail children, most especially in schools. President Museveni added mercenaries and exhibitors of homosexuality will be punished harshly.
We don't accept homosexuality in Uganda. Apparently, we are getting attacked from the United States because they are trying so much to push it into the country. And a couple of times, every time the president goes out, the only thing that they focus on to ask him is always about homosexuality. Why you're not accepting it? Human rights, you should accept the people the way they are.
What is your message to lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender people?
Respect African societies and their values. If you don't agree, you just keep quiet. Let's manage our society the way we see. If we are wrong, we shall find out by ourselves.
And I don't understand why, of all the things that we have happening in Uganda, that has to be an issue, because we have the education system that needs to be changed. A lot of Ugandans are unemployed. That is something that I would consider, discussing about. We have less hospitals in Uganda. Like, we have a lot of things that we can focus on and talk about as a country, but every time the Ugandan president goes abroad to have meetings with the people of the United States or any other country, they're always asking him about homosexuality. And to us as people, us as Ugandans, we are always like, really? When the president of Uganda signed the anti-gay law, guys, yeah, apparently we are under attack by the United States of America. Uganda, a third world country actually, is in war with a first world country, the United States. I mean, probably it's going to be like pum, 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 pum. I don't know, in the coming future, because I'm scared for my life. Like, let me play for you a clip of the president of Uganda on how he responded to the United States threat towards my country, Uganda.
What I can tell you about steps the United States might take in response is that we are undertaking a review of our relationship with Uganda in light of this decision.
But Museveni remains unperturbed.
The outsiders cannot dictate to us. This is our country, this is our society, this is our future. The outsiders will have to live with us, or if they don't want, they take their aid and we shall. Uganda is very rich. We don't need aid. In fact, aid is part of the problem.
Guys, whoa. And how the president of Uganda responded, like, you know what? You should leave. And you know what? The aid that you're giving us is actually the problem. I don't know if I should be happy or I should be sad because I love my country, Uganda, and I never want to see war happen in my country, because the way I hear my parents talk about how war happened in the history of Uganda, it's scary to them. So me seeing that we could be actually potentially in that situation again because we don't accept things from the West, things that want to be imposed on us, is scary. You know, it is really, I don't know, it just makes me feel like the West is so entitled that if it's not in their way, then we are the problem. And let me tell you, what is funny is that the United States is threatening Uganda to cut on the aid or remove aid or actually stop giving Uganda aid. And I feel like this is the tactic that the Western people use to control African leaders or African countries, because I feel like they tell them, if you accept this, we are going to cut on the sum of the money that you owe us. And it's not working this time. You know, the president of Uganda is like, you know what, guys, I've really tolerated a lot of your stuff. And it's like they want us to accept this culture because when the visitors come from the West, yeah, they find the same systems that they left in the West. When in fact, they should be leaving the West to come to Africa of 54 countries to see our cultures and actually appreciate them. I mean, can the US really do that to Asia? Like the US to go to Arabs or the US to go to China and tell them to do what they're forcing to Africa, to Uganda right now? Guys, make it make sense. I don't know. There is so much entitlement from the United States and it just really needs to stop. I don't know when it will stop, but it's getting out of hand. And I just don't understand when I see people who are like, well, you know, motherland, I love motherland, but because you don't accept me for who I am, then, you know, you're not worthy to come to. I'm like, but it's our culture. It's how we live. If I respect American culture when I come to Americas, you should do the same thing when you come into my motherland, my home. When it comes to us to say, you know, we took everything, we accepted a lot of things, this is not our culture, this is not ours, then we are a problem. And let me tell you, the president of Uganda is so strong. I don't know what's going in his brain. He decided that, you know what, we have a lot of human rights organizations in Uganda, Ugandan organizations that can cater for Ugandan rights. And so because of that, actually, I don't need any foreign help from the Western people.
There's what we call superfluous, something that is not needed because it is something else. Because we have got a Uganda National Human Rights Commission, it is in the Constitution. So now having this freelance, something, it even confuses our people to go to this one of exotic or the other one. So please, to simplify for them, we say, please, there's only one Human Rights Commission in Uganda. This is the one in the Constitution. Others, you go and do something else. There's a lot of need for those groups in the world. They can go to Iraq, they can go to Afghanistan, they are not short of people where there are problems. Uganda is not one of them.
So basically, the president of Uganda, he decided to close all the UN organizations and offices, UN, United Nations, or anything related to it in my country, Uganda. I was like, okay, now we are gone. Like, this man wants Uganda to get attacked. Like, we are to be, like, attacked, like, soon. I don't know. Should I be happy? Should I be sad? I'm just glad that we have these kinds of leaders in Africa who stand on their ground that this is what I need, this is good for my country, and I'll stand on that. And I personally, I would say that I'm proud of him for doing that. He listened to Ugandans. We don't accept the act of homosexuality, and he's been a very strong African leader to say no to homosexuality for a really, really long time. And As a Ugandan, I'm proud of it. I am so proud of him that at least he listens to his citizens, to his people that voted him to be in power. Wow. Wow. And kudos to the president of Uganda. That was it for today, guys. I hope you liked the video. Comment and tell me what you think. Do you think Uganda is going to win on this issue? Do you think we should be worried that we might, soon get attacked in some way for chasing out the US from Uganda? Because it looks like we are, and I don't know, are we going to be able to even get, visas to come to the United States? Because I'm worried about that too. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.